At the break of a crimson dawn on the distant world of Zarthan, humanity's boldest explorers set foot on alien soil with hearts pounding and eyes fixed on the horizon. The twin suns of Zarthan rose in a blaze of orange and deep magenta, casting long dramatic shadows over a landscape that was at once both wild and otherworldly. Here, in this untamed frontier, a legend whispered among the indigenous Zarkii had come to define their entire existence. A colossal apex predator known as the Varrock, revered as both a divine sentinel and the living embodiment of the planet's raw, unyielding force. But as the human landing craft descended onto a rugged plateau, an unspoken promise burned among the crew. On this world they would show that human ingenuity and ferocity could tame even the wildest myth. Captain Samara Sam Ortiz, a seasoned veteran of interstellar expeditions and the unwavering leader of this daring incursion, stepped off the ramp with steeled determination. Her eyes, sharp and calculating beneath the brim of her weathered cap, surveyed the arid terrain where jagged rock formations jutted from the desert like the spines of a slumbering beast. Around her, her diverse team of engineers, scientists, and hardened soldiers readied themselves for the unknown. They were not here as invaders but as hunters. Hunters driven by the relentless HFY spirit that had carried humanity through countless trials. Their objective was clear: locate and confront the Varrock, the apex predator that the Zarkii so deeply venerated, and in doing so, prove that human daring could defy even the most sacred of alien traditions. Rumors and data gleaned from preliminary scans painted a picture of the Varrock that was as mesmerizing as it was fearsome. Towering over the native fauna at nearly 3 times the height of a human, the creature was said to be a blend of sinewy muscle and chitinous armor, with eyes that burned like molten silver. Its roar was rumored to shake the very ground, a sound that resonated with both terror and awe. To the Zarkii, the Varrock was more than a creature. It was a symbol of balance, the apex of nature's ruthless design. For the humans, however, it represented the ultimate challenge, a prize for their courage and a testament to their primal prowess. As the team moved stealthily through the rust-hued canyons, Captain Ortiz recounted the mission's true intent in a hushed tone over her communicator. "We're not here to disrespect their culture," she reminded her crew, "but to show that when humanity faces the impossible, we don't back down. We hunt, we conquer, and we learn from every battle. Today we're writing another chapter in our legacy." Her words, punctuated by the crackle of distant static and the thudding of her own heartbeat, ignited a fire within each member of the unit. They knew the risks. This was no ordinary prey. The Varrock was a creature of myth and might, and its capture, or if need be its death, would send shockwaves not only through the ranks of the Zarkii but across the known galaxy. The first sign that they were close came in the form of an eerie silence, a void where even the typical whisper of Zarthan's strange winds had stilled. The sensors on their advanced tracking devices began to pick up massive, erratic heat signatures moving slowly between towering basalt spires. In that moment, time itself seemed to hold its breath. "I've got something," announced Li Chen, the expedition's chief scientist, his voice low with excitement and trepidation. Readings indicate a body mass exceeding 300 kilos, moving with deliberate, predatory grace. The tension in the group was palpable, a mixture of adrenaline, anticipation, and the quiet acknowledgement that they were on the cusp of a legendary encounter. Deep within a vast, shadowed ravine, the Varrock finally emerged. It was a spectacle of nature's raw power, sleek yet muscular, its dark iridescent hide catching the light in 1,000 shifting hues, and its eyes gleaming with an almost sentient intensity. For a moment, the creature regarded the human intruders with what might have been interpreted as a challenge, a deep, resonating growl that echoed off the canyon walls as if announcing, "You dare trespass on my domain?" The ground beneath its massive paws trembled with each step, and the very air seemed to ripple with the force of its presence. Captain Ortiz's voice cut through the mounting tension like a clarion call. "Steady, everyone. Remember, we are not here to simply kill. This is a hunt to learn, to prove that humanity's spirit can overcome the fiercest of challenges." With practiced precision, the team spread out, moving into positions that would allow them to track, study, and if necessary, engage the colossal beast. Among them was Yarrick, a former soldier turned survival expert whose hands never trembled when handling the high-powered energy rifles they carried. His eyes, hardened by countless battles, shone with the thrill of the hunt. Beside him, Li Chen activated a drone that would circle the creature, transmitting high-definition images and thermal scans back to their mobile command unit. The initial minutes of observation were a study in contrasts. The Varrock moved with a cautious curiosity, as though it were aware of the human presence yet unprepared for the audacity of these invaders. It sniffed the air, its massive head swaying as it registered scents unknown to it, a blend of foreign metals, exotic spices, and the unmistakable tang of humanity. To the Zarkii, this intrusion was unthinkable. Their sacred guardian was now the subject of a human hunt. But to the humans, it was a challenge worthy of their heritage, a call to demonstrate that even in the face of the unknown, human courage could never be subdued. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the heat intensified and the tension mounted. The team's strategy crystallized into a daring plan. They would drive the Varrock toward a natural trap, a narrow gorge whose jagged walls could restrict the beast's movements. "We lure it in, then we take our shot," Ortiz explained, her tone unwavering as she outlined the operation. "Precision, timing, and a bit of luck will see us through. And remember, when the moment comes, we feast not only on victory but on the very essence of what makes us human." Under the searing glare of Zarthan's suns, the team executed their plan with the precision of a well-rehearsed symphony. Yarrick and his squad took up positions on elevated outcroppings, their energy rifles primed and ready. Li Chen's drone buzzed overhead like a vigilant guardian, its sensors constantly monitoring the creature's every move. Captain Ortiz herself led the effort on the ground, her every step measured and resolute. Slowly but surely, they began to drive the Varrock toward the gorge with carefully orchestrated noise, strategic placements of energy pulses, and the tantalizing scent of engineered bait, a nutrient-rich compound designed to stimulate the creature's predatory instincts. 4 hours, the chase unfolded like an epic dance of life and death. The Varrock, though undeniably formidable, found itself gradually hemmed in by the relentless, ingenious tactics of its human pursuers. Every time it attempted to break free, the team was there, adapting on the fly, using every ounce of their collective experience to anticipate its moves. And all the while, a silent alarm was sounding deep within the Zarkii's ancient temples, a foreboding omen that the invaders' actions were igniting a crisis that would shake the very foundations of their civilization. Then, in a heart-stopping moment that would be etched into the annals of human conquest, the trap was sprung. The Varrock, driven to the brink by the human barrage, charged headlong into the narrow confines of the gorge. The beast's colossal bulk slammed against the rocky walls, its momentum causing tremors that reverberated for miles. In that split second, as dust and stone erupted in a chaotic display, Jarrek's team unleashed a coordinated barrage of energy bolts aimed at immobilizing the creature without ending its life prematurely. The air was rent with the sound of crackling energy and the thundering impact of the Varrock's struggle against its confines. Captain Ortiz, watching from a secure vantage point, felt a surge of triumph mixed with the sober weight of responsibility. This was more than just a hunt. It was a declaration that humanity, with all its flaws and fierce determination, could rise to meet the most daunting challenges. As the Varrock writhed in the narrow gorge, its mighty roars giving way to the pained cries of a wounded titan, the humans moved in swiftly. In a display of audacious bravery that embodied the very essence of HFY, they captured the beast using a combination of advanced containment nets and a specialized sedative compound that Li Chen had painstakingly formulated. The moment the creature was subdued, the team gathered around, their eyes wide with a mixture of awe and a grim satisfaction. There was no malice in their victory, only the raw, unapologetic drive to push the boundaries of what was possible. "This is it," Captain Ortiz declared, her voice resonating with the unyielding spirit of humanity. "Today we show that no force, no matter how revered or fearsome, can stand in the way of our determination. We honor the hunt by understanding it, and by proving that our will is unbreakable." As the first cool breeze of evening swept over the gorge, the team prepared for the next phase of their mission. The creature, still magnificent even in defeat, would now serve as a symbol, a testament to the audacity of human enterprise. In a move that would shock the galaxy and send ripples through the ancient halls of Zarkii tradition, the team decided to partake in a ritual both primal and celebratory. Under the light of Zarthan's twin moons, they would harvest the Varrock not merely as a trophy of conquest but as sustenance. A bold, unapologetic feast that would mark humanity's declaration of self-reliance and triumph. For the humans this was more than a meal. It was an assertion of identity, a defiant, unyielding humanity fuck yeah shouted to the stars. In the coming hours, as the team prepared for the ceremonial feast, whispers of their victory began to echo across the alien landscape. Even as the subdued roars of the Varrock faded into the night, the impact of this act reverberated through the cosmos. The Zarkii, upon discovering that their sacred apex predator had been so boldly defied, would soon be gripped by a terror unlike any they had known, a terror born not of a supernatural curse, but of the indomitable, irrepressible spirit of humankind. Thus, on that fateful day on Zarthan, the hunt began not only a battle for survival but the forging of a new myth. A myth in which humans, through their sheer will and ingenuity, dared to challenge the established order of an alien world. In their eyes burned the promise of a future where no boundary, no tradition, no cosmic predator could stand between humanity and its destiny. And as the first preparations for the feast commenced under the luminous glow of alien moons, one truth became unmistakably clear. When humanity rises, the universe takes notice. As twilight deepened into an indigo night on Zarthan, the captured Varric lay restrained in the natural amphitheater of the gorge, its mighty form silhouetted against the flickering light of human campfires. The air was thick with the scent of scorched rock and exotic flora, and every heartbeat seemed to echo the profound defiance of humanity's bold act. In that charged silence, the hunters gathered around the subdued Titan, preparing not merely for a meal but for a ritual that would etch their legend into the annals of cosmic history. Captain Samara Ortiz, her face lit by the dancing flames, surveyed the scene with a mixture of solemn pride and fierce determination. Her eyes, still reflecting the adrenaline of the hunt, now softened with the gravity of what they were about to do. "This isn't just a feast," she said, her voice resonant in the hush that fell over the assembled crew. "It's a declaration, a statement that our hunger for survival, our defiance in the face of the unknown, and our unyielding spirit will never be silenced." Around her, the team prepared meticulously. Yarrick and his squad, their energy rifles now lowered in respectful reverence, helped secure the creature's massive limbs with advanced containment nets engineered to minimize further injury. Li Qin, the brilliant scientist who had first detected the beast's heat signature, now oversaw the careful application of a sedative compound that would ease the creature's suffering while preserving its physical majesty. The aliens, hidden among the shadows of the canyon's rim, watched silently, their eyes shimmering with a mix of awe and horror as their sacred guardian was transformed into a symbol of human audacity. Under the twin moons of Zarthan, the ritual began. A specially constructed platform, a circular dais carved out of native stone, served as the stage for what was soon to become a legendary act of rebellion. The human team had long revered their own traditions, drawing strength from ancient ceremonies of unity and triumph. Now they adapted those rites to a new frontier, blending old Earth customs with the raw, untamed energy of an alien world. Captain Ortiz stepped forward, her uniform still bearing the dust and scratches of battle. In a voice that carried across the gathered assembly, she recited words of victory and defiance, her tone both poetic and unyielding. "Tonight, we honor the spirit of the hunt, the courage of our kind, and the relentless will to challenge destiny itself. We feast not out of malice, but as a testament to our ability to transform adversity into strength, to turn the sacred into a symbol of liberation. Humanity against all odds rises." Her declaration was met with a raucous cheer, a chorus of voices from all corners of the expedition, echoing a simple yet potent mantra, "Humanity, fuck yeah." The cry resonated in the silent desert, merging with the distant murmur of alien winds and the low rumble of the planet's restless core. The first course of the feast was presented in an elaborate display. The team had prepared a nutrient-rich marinade using a blend of Earth's finest spices and carefully harvested Zarthan flora, chosen not only for flavor but for their symbolic representation of unity between disparate worlds. The marinade glowed with an iridescent sheen under the alien moons, a visual reminder that even in the unlikeliest of unions, beauty and innovation could flourish. Yarrick, now assuming the role of ceremonial host, explained to the assembled crew, "This is the essence of our defiance. The creature we hunt was revered by the Zarkii as the apex of their natural order. Today we reclaim that power, not to destroy but to understand. By feasting on what they held sacred, we prove that no force, no matter how ancient or exalted, can deny the indomitable spirit of humanity." As the first morsels were served, Li Qin took the opportunity to document every detail of the ritual for posterity. His handheld recorder captured the mixture of emotions, a blend of triumph, sorrow, and an almost palpable hunger for the unknown, that pulsed through the group. Every bite, every shared glance among the crew, was a silent vow to continue the journey, to push past the boundaries of what was thought possible. Yet, beneath the celebratory fervor lay an undercurrent of philosophical reflection. Dr. Mara Ellis, the expedition's cultural liaison and anthropologist, addressed the gathered team with a tone of contemplative gravity. "We are not merely feasting on flesh," she said, her eyes glistening with both pride and regret. "We are consuming a part of a myth, a living emblem of a civilization's pinnacle. In doing so, we challenge the very notion of reverence, turning tradition on its head to forge a new narrative of unity and resilience. Our actions tonight are not acts of conquest, but of transcendence. The ritual feast quickly evolved into a symposium of stories, where each member of the team recounted personal battles, triumphs, and moments of clarity that had led them to this decisive moment. Around the stone dais, illuminated by the soft glow of bioluminescent flora and the steady light of the moons, tales of Earth's struggles and victories were shared. Veterans spoke of battles fought on barren wastelands and in the crowded streets of megacities. Young explorers recounted the thrill of first contact and the awe of witnessing wonders beyond imagination. Each story added to the tapestry of the feast, reinforcing the message that humanity's strength lay in its diversity and relentless drive to overcome. Outside the confines of the camp, the reaction of the Zarkii began to stir. In remote temples carved into the rugged cliffs, ancient murals depicting the Varrock as a guardian of nature flickered under the dim light of their own ceremonies. Their voices, once confident in the sanctity of their traditions, now trembled with uncertainty. How could their revered predator be the centerpiece of a human ritual? Whispers of betrayal and cosmic imbalance spread like wildfire, setting the stage for a clash of civilizations that would soon ripple across the galaxy. Back at the feast, Captain Ortiz's gaze swept over her team as she pondered the symbolism of the night. The Varrock, even in defeat, retained an air of regality. A creature that had dominated its world for eons now lay before them, its life offering both sustenance and a mirror to humanity's relentless spirit. "We are both predators and philosophers," she mused aloud. "In our act of defiance, we not only feed our bodies but nourish our souls with the fire of rebellion. Let this feast remind us that every challenge, no matter how sacred, can be overcome with courage, ingenuity, and a refusal to yield." The meal continued long into the night, each course unfolding like a chapter in an epic saga. Rich stews simmered with alien spices, accompanied by vibrant salads of native fruits and roots that pulsed with otherworldly colors. As the crew savored every bite, their conversations turned to the future. What would the consequences of their bold act be? How would the Zarkii respond to the desecration of their most venerated creature? And most importantly, what did it mean for humanity's place in a universe where ancient myths clashed with the raw force of ambition? In the midst of the revelry, Li Chen presented his preliminary findings on the Varrock's biology, a scientific marvel that far exceeded any earthly creature. The beast's genetic makeup hinted at a complexity that could unlock new frontiers in medicine, biology, and even artificial intelligence. "We are standing on the edge of discovery," he proclaimed, his voice trembling with excitement. "By studying the Varrock, we might learn secrets that have been hidden for millennia. Secrets that can propel human civilization into an era of unprecedented growth." The feast was not just a celebration of conquest but also a catalyst for reflection and future ambition. The crew began to sketch plans for further exploration. Hints of diplomatic overtures, scientific collaborations, and perhaps even an invitation for the Zarkii to share in humanity's newfound vision for a united cosmic future. Amid the laughter and spirited debates, there was an unspoken understanding. Tonight's events would forever alter the balance of power, not just on Zarthan but across the galaxy. As the night drew to a close, and the first light of a new dawn began to creep over the horizon, the crew gathered one final time around the stone dais. In the soft glow of the awakening moons, Captain Ortiz raised a weathered flask filled with a rare, celebratory brew, a blend of Earth's finest ingredients and Zarthan's unique resources. "To the fearless," she toasted, her voice carrying the weight of their shared journey, "to the rebels, the explorers, and the dreamers who refuse to be defined by the limits of tradition. Tonight, we feasted on the heart of our enemy, and in doing so, we have nourished the soul of humanity." The assembled team echoed her words, their voices melding into a powerful chorus that carried far beyond the confines of the gorge. In that final moment of unity, the crew understood that their actions were more than a simple act of defiance. They were the spark that would ignite a revolution, a turning point in the eternal struggle between the old order and a future defined by relentless ambition and boundless hope. And so, as the first rays of dawn illuminated the rugged terrain of Zarthan, the echoes of the feast resonated across the cosmos. The captured Varrock, once the apex predator and sacred guardian of an ancient civilization, had become the centerpiece of a transformative act, one that boldly declared humanity's arrival on the interstellar stage. The ritual was complete, but its reverberations were only just beginning. In the silent promise of the new day, the crew of the expedition stepped forward, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the knowledge that when humanity rises, even the mightiest legends tremble in awe. Thus concluded the Feast of Rebellion, a moment when the boundaries of tradition were shattered, and the unyielding spirit of humankind was carved into the very heart of the universe. As the first light of a new day spread its golden hues across Zarthan's rugged landscape, an unsettling calm replaced the jubilant echoes of the previous night's feast. The air, still heavy with the lingering spices and raw energy of the human celebration, now carried whispers of impending retribution. Deep in the canyons and along the ancient, weathered walls of the Zarkii temples, murmurs arose, a collective disquiet that foretold the coming storm. In the makeshift command center, perched on a rocky outcrop overlooking the gorge, Captain Samara Ortiz reviewed the preliminary reports with a furrowed brow. The data transmitted by Li Chen's drone and ground sensors painted a stark picture. Unusual energy surges and subtle shifts in the electromagnetic fields, unmistakable signs that the Zarkii were mobilizing. Ortiz's eyes, normally steady and unwavering, now flickered with a mix of determination and concern. The humans had shattered a sacred symbol by turning the apex predator into a source of sustenance, and the repercussions of that defiance were rippling outward. Status report. Ortiz barked into her communicator, her voice slicing through the tense silence in the command center. Yarrick, who had been monitoring communications from the field, responded, "Captain, we're picking up multiple unidentified craft converging on our location. They're fast, almost silent, and heavily cloaked in native energy signatures." The cadence of his words carried the gravity of the situation. These weren't mere scouts. They were emissaries of a civilization hurt and enraged by what they saw as an act of sacrilege. Outside, the desert began to teem with movement. From the jagged cliffs and shadowed recesses, the Zarkii emerged. Clad in garments of woven luminescence that echoed the ancient artistry of their people, their eyes burned with sorrow and indignation. Among them, an imposing figure led the procession, a venerable elder known as Zarek, whose silvered skin and etched, timeless features spoke of millennia of wisdom and tradition. In his hand, he carried a crystalline scepter that pulsed with a soft, inner light, a symbol of his people's authority and their deep connection to the sacred ways of nature. As the Zarkii forces advanced toward the human encampment, the air became electric with anticipation. The humans, still reeling from the transformative power of their recent feast, now braced for a confrontation that promised to test the very fabric of their resolve. Captain Ortiz gathered her core team around a portable holomap, its shimmering display mapping the converging forces in real time. "We knew our actions would have consequences," she began, her tone resolute. "But we must stand by our choices. This isn't merely about an ancient predator, it's about our right to challenge old orders and carve a new destiny in the stars." Inside the command center, debates raged quietly among the ranks. Li Chen, ever the scientist, argued that the genetic marvel of the Varric might offer insights that could unite the two worlds through shared knowledge. "We have a chance here," he insisted, fingers dancing over the holographic controls, "to study this creature and perhaps learn what made it so sacred to the Zarkii. Knowledge can be the bridge between us." His words, laced with cautious optimism, clashed with the hardened pragmatism of Yarrick, who reminded the group, "We've already crossed a line. We've taken something that they held dear. We can't underestimate the fury that's coming." Outside, the first clash was not one of weapons but of wills. Zarek, his eyes like burning embers beneath a brow of sorrow and wrath, stepped forward into the clearing between the human encampment and the gathering Zarkii. His voice, resonant and sonorous, carried across the desert like an ancient incantation. "You have desecrated our guardian, our symbol of nature's balance. In doing so, you have fractured the sacred covenant between our peoples. Explain yourselves, interlopers from the stars." For a long, breathless moment, silence reigned as Captain Ortiz stepped forward, her stance both defiant and conciliatory. "We come not as conquerors but as seekers," she declared. "We dared to challenge what many deemed inviolable, and in that challenge we sought to prove that humanity is more than its past. It is a force for transformation, for progress, and for unity in the cosmos. We honor your traditions even as we create our own. Today we stand on the threshold of a future where the old orders are questioned, and new paths are forged." The elder's gaze was unyielding, his scepter held high as if channeling the very spirit of his ancestors. Yet behind his fierce eyes flickered an undeniable curiosity, a recognition of the audacity that had carried these humans across the void. Around him, the assembled Zarkii exchanged uncertain glances, their collective heartbeat pounding in unison with the shifting winds of change. As the two leaders faced one another, an unexpected ripple of dialogue began. Zarek's retort was measured, the sting of betrayal evident in every word. Your defiance cuts deep, for in our hearts the Varrock was not merely flesh and bone, but the living echo of our world's soul. To consume it was to consume our heritage. His voice softened as he continued, "Yet I sense in you a fire, a hunger for knowledge that mirrors our own. Perhaps there is a way to honor both our traditions." In that precarious moment, the desert itself seemed to hold its breath. Ortiz proposed a path of reconciliation, a bold initiative to open dialogue between the two cultures. "Let us share our insights," she urged, "to study the Varrock not as a trophy of conquest, but as a source of wisdom. If we can learn from its secrets, we might unlock advancements in medicine, biology, and technology that can benefit us both. Let our actions pave the way for a future where our differences become strengths." The words hung in the air, suspended between defiance and diplomacy. Li Chen's earlier hypothesis about the Varrock's potential had found its champion in Ortiz's plea for unity. Slowly, the tension began to dissipate, replaced by a cautious curiosity that bridged two worlds. Zarek's gaze softened, and he lowered his scepter just a fraction, a gesture that did not signify surrender but an openness to parley. "Very well," he intoned, "we shall meet in the Circle of Ancients, where the old guardians still speak through stone and wind. There we will deliberate on the path forward." A contingent of Zarkii warriors and scholars, led by Zarek, turned toward a vast, natural amphitheater formed by ancient rock formations, an echo of a civilization steeped in myth and ritual. Simultaneously, Captain Ortiz signaled her team to follow, a motley band of hardened soldiers, brilliant scientists, and resolute explorers, united by the indomitable spirit of humanity. The trek to the Circle of Ancients was fraught with tension. Each step taken was laden with the weight of history and the promise of transformation. During the journey, conversations between the two groups revealed startling parallels and unexpected common ground. Zarkii scholars spoke of the Varrock not only as a symbol of power but as a living archive of their world's evolution, a repository of ancient wisdom and cosmic energy. In return, human engineers and biologists shared insights into the breakthroughs their studies had already yielded from the creature's genetic structure. Over campfires lit by bioluminescent flora and beneath a tapestry of unfamiliar constellations, the two peoples began to exchange stories, each narrative a thread in a new tapestry of mutual respect and shared ambition. Within the solemn confines of the Circle of Ancients, the negotiations took on a ritualistic quality. Carved into the stone were symbols that spanned generations, a visual language of unity and balance that both cultures revered. Here, Ortiz and Zarek sat facing one another on weathered stone benches, flanked by emissaries from their respective peoples. As the proceedings commenced, Zarek recited the ancient rites of his people, invoking the spirits of the past and asking for guidance in this pivotal moment. Ortiz, in turn, spoke of Earth's turbulent history and its relentless drive to push beyond perceived limits, a testament to the human spirit's refusal to be confined by tradition. The dialogue was intense and challenging. Human proposals to share the scientific findings derived from the Varrock clashed with the Zarkii's desire to preserve the sanctity of their cultural heritage. Yet, as hours turned into a full day of deliberation, an unexpected synthesis began to emerge. It became clear that the moment of reckoning was not solely about the consumption of an apex predator. It was about redefining the relationship between tradition and progress, between reverence and rebellion. In a breakthrough that would be remembered for generations, Ortiz proposed the establishment of a joint research initiative, a cross-cultural project that would see human ingenuity and Zarkii wisdom merge in the pursuit of common goals. "Let our combined efforts illuminate the mysteries of not just the Varrock but of life itself," she declared, her voice ringing with the resolute cadence of a pioneer. "Together we can forge a new legacy, one that honors the past while boldly stepping into the future." The Zarkii delegation, moved by the sincerity of Ortiz's words and the tangible promise of shared progress, gradually nodded in acceptance. Zarek, his expression a complex tapestry of pride, sorrow, and cautious hope, agreed to the proposal. "We shall call this alliance the Covenant of the Eclipse," he pronounced, evoking the rare celestial event that had long been a symbol of transformation in his culture. "May it mark the moment when darkness and light converge to birth a future brighter than either could alone." As the negotiations drew to a close, a palpable sense of hope began to replace the bitter taste of conflict. The joint venture promised not only to honor the sacrifice of the Varrock but also to set in motion a series of discoveries that could revolutionize both civilizations. In the days that followed, teams from both sides worked side by side, establishing research outposts near the Circle of Ancients. They began to unravel the genetic and bioenergetic mysteries of the Varrock, using its complex biology to pioneer breakthroughs in sustainable energy, regenerative medicine, and even advanced computing, a technology inspired by the creature's own neural patterns. Yet even as collaboration blossomed, lingering questions remained. How would the wider Zarkii society react to this unprecedented alliance? Could the Covenant of the Eclipse withstand the pressures of divergent ideologies and the shadows of past transgressions? And, for the human explorers, what price would they pay for their audacious challenge to long-held cosmic traditions? Amid these uncertainties, one thing was clear: the reckoning had only just begun. The very act of merging the sacred with the secular, of reconciling the old with the new, was an act of rebellion and renewal, a declaration that the human spirit, when united with another culture's ancient wisdom, could transcend boundaries and forge an entirely new path. As the sun set over Zarthan on that fateful day, its light bathing the circle of ancients in a warm amber glow, both humans and Zarkii felt the stirrings of a profound transformation, a shared destiny waiting to be written among the stars. In that moment, the legacy of the Varrock evolved beyond a mere trophy of conquest or a symbol of cultural heritage. It became a living bridge between two worlds, a testament to the resilience, innovation, and unyielding will of beings who refused to be defined by the limitations of tradition. And as the Covenant of the Eclipse was solemnly sealed with words, gestures, and the silent promise of a future built together, both sides realized that their destinies were now inextricably linked. Thus, on the windswept plains of Zarthan, beneath an alien sky filled with the promise of both peril and possibility, the reckoning of traditions transformed into a beacon of hope. In the melding of defiance and diplomacy, humanity had not only survived its own reckoning, it had redefined it. And as the echoes of ancient rites and modern ambitions converged in that sacred amphitheater, the dawn of a new era shone with the brilliance of 100 suns, a future where, united by purpose and passion, both peoples would rise together to illuminate the cosmos. Heal, and together, a brighter future can be forged among the stars. In the weeks following the sealing of the Covenant of the Eclipse, the joint human-Zarkii outpost near the Circle of Ancients buzzed with a palpable mix of anticipation, determination, and the quiet hum of advanced machinery. Under the watchful gaze of ancient stone guardians and the twinkling starlight, both peoples labored side by side. Human engineers and Zarkii scholars fused their knowledge, extracting the latent cosmic energy encoded in the Varrock's DNA and decoding its bioenergetic resonance. Their goal was to create a synthesis, a new technology that could protect their fragile worlds against external threats and unlock mysteries of the cosmos. But as the alliance forged ahead, an ominous disturbance began to ripple across the sky. Late one night, while the research teams worked tirelessly on hybrid energy converters, the sensors in the command center detected an anomaly at the edge of Zarthan's atmosphere. An eerie, pulsating void, an energy storm of unknown origin, moved slowly toward the planet. The readings were unlike anything the combined teams had seen: colossal fluctuations in electromagnetic fields, bursts of raw cosmic energy, and an underlying frequency that resonated with the very core of the Varrock's stored power. Captain Samara Ortiz and Zarkii Elder Zarek convened in the outpost's central chamber, a grand hall where human digital displays intermingled with ancient, glyph-inscribed stone tablets. Ortiz's gaze was steely as she addressed the gathered leaders. Our research shows that the Varrock's essence, now harnessed in our energy converters, is our key to stabilizing this incoming tempest. We have a narrow window to activate a hybrid shield that merges human technology with the Zarkii's ancestral defenses. Her tone was resolute, each word carrying the weight of countless battles fought and the audacity of dreams realized. Zarek's deep, measured voice resonated in reply: "The storm is a reckoning from the cosmos, a test of our unity. Our sacred texts speak of celestial tempests that cleanse worlds and forge new destinies. Today our combined strength must turn this trial into an opportunity to shine as one." The elder's eyes, filled with both ancient wisdom and newfound hope, met Ortiz's, and in that moment an unspoken pact was renewed. No force in the universe would stand against the united spirit of humanity and the Zarkii. Over the next few days the Alliance mobilized its resources. Human soldiers, renowned for their strategic precision, worked alongside Zarkii warriors whose lithe forms moved with the grace of dancers in a ritualistic combat. Together they erected a vast, dome-like shield around critical installations, powered by the extracted energy from the Varrock, a synthesis of raw, unbridled force and meticulously engineered quantum circuits. This new, celestial aegis, pulsed with an ethereal glow, its vibrant hues shifting in time with the heartbeat of the planet itself. At the heart of the outpost, Li Qin and his Zarkii counterpart, a brilliant bioenergeticist named Aylar, worked side by side on the final calibration of the shield's power matrix. Holographic schematics danced in the air, a fusion of Earth's technological elegance and the Zarkii's intricate symbology. Li Chen's fingers moved deftly over a control panel, his voice laced with excitement and urgency. The converters are stabilizing at 97% efficiency. Once we hit 100%, the shield will reach full capacity, enough to deflect the full force of the incoming storm. Aylar added with quiet intensity, the resonance frequency of the Varroc's essence is aligning with our ancient protective incantations. This is not merely science, it is a merging of our souls with the energy of the cosmos. Our ancestors envisioned a time when we would harness the very power of life to protect our future. Their combined optimism and fervor rippled through the outpost, buoying every soul with the promise of unity and resilience. As the celestial tempest drew nearer, a violent symphony of energy erupted on the horizon. The sky darkened with swirling nebula-like clouds, illuminated intermittently by searing bolts of lightning and bursts of otherworldly light. The ground trembled beneath the force of nature unleashed, and every living creature felt the impending onslaught. In a dramatic assembly of human and Zarkii forces, Captain Ortiz and Zarek stood before the celestial aegis, ready to lead their united peoples into the crucible of this cosmic trial. A commanding silence fell as Ortiz's voice rang out over the communication channels. This is our moment. Today we prove that the union of our strengths can turn even the fiercest cosmic fury into a tool for progress. For every sacrifice made in the name of discovery, for every boundary we've shattered, humanity, fuck yeah. Her rallying cry, punctuated by the resounding cheers of warriors on both sides, ignited a flame of unyielding determination. The storm slammed into the shield with a force that shook the very foundations of the outpost. The celestial aegis shuddered as torrents of energy battered it from every angle. In that moment, the outpost became a theater of light and darkness, waves of cosmic energy colliding with the protective barrier, sending ripples of luminescence across the desert plains. The human soldiers and Zarkii guardians manned their stations with fierce resolve, every eye fixed on the spectral dance of energy above. Inside the command center, Li Qin and Aylar monitored the shield's integrity. The energy input is fluctuating wildly, Li Qin noted, his eyes glued to the rapidly updating readouts. But the hybrid system is adapting, it's recalibrating in real time. Aylar's calm presence lent confidence to the team as he observed. The Varroc's resonance, interwoven with our ancient frequencies, is amplifying the shield's capacity. We are on the brink of transformation. Outside, the tempest's fury reached its zenith. The celestial aegis glowed with a defiant brilliance as the shield absorbed the storm's raw power, converting it into a harmonious energy flow. Every human and Zarkii present felt the surge, a connection that transcended language and species, a shared pulse that beat in unison with the cosmos. In that explosive moment, the Alliance's combined spirit turned chaos into a symphony of resilience. The incoming energy began to slow, its ferocity dissipating under the relentless might of the shield. Then, as if the storm itself recognized the unity before it, the tempest gradually receded. The once violent sky cleared, revealing a breathtaking panorama of stars and distant galaxies. The celestial aegis, having withstood the cosmic onslaught, now shone as a beacon of hope, a testament to what could be achieved when ancient wisdom and modern innovation converged. A hush of awe fell over the gathered crowd, punctuated by spontaneous cheers and relieved laughter. The battle had been hard fought, but victory was now theirs. In the quiet aftermath, Captain Ortiz and Zarek stood side by side at the forefront of the outpost, their silhouettes framed by the soft glow of the dissipating storm. Today we have not only defended our home but redefined what is possible, Ortiz declared, her voice filled with the gravity of their shared triumph. Our combined strength has forged a path toward a future where our differences empower us rather than divide us. Zarek's reply was measured and heartfelt. The covenant of the eclipse has shown that even the darkest tempest cannot extinguish the light of unity. Let our alliance serve as a guide, a promise that from the crucible of adversity, a new dawn may arise. Their words, echoing in the silence of the reclaimed night, resonated deeply with every member of the alliance. In the days that followed, as the celestial aegis continued to protect Zarthan and the joint research teams delved deeper into the secrets of the Varroc's cosmic energy, a new era began to unfold. The alliance between humanity and the Zarkii blossomed into a full-fledged renaissance of science, culture, and diplomacy. Joint ventures in medicine, energy production, and interstellar navigation emerged, each discovery a testament to the transformative power of unity. The outpost evolved into a vibrant hub, a living monument to the audacity of those who dared to challenge tradition and embrace a shared destiny among the stars. Across the galaxy, whispers of the Covenant of the Eclipse spread like wildfire. Other civilizations, long isolated by fear or rivalry, began to reconsider their own ancient boundaries. The Human-Azarchii alliance became a symbol of hope and possibility, inspiring new dialogues and cooperative ventures that spanned solar systems. Humanity's bold defiance, and its willingness to share in the wisdom of others, had ignited a spark that promised to light the way for countless others. As Zarthan settled into a newfound peace, the final ascension of the Alliance was marked by a grand ceremony held beneath the ever-watchful gaze of twin moons. At the heart of the ancient amphitheater, where once sacred rituals had been performed in isolation, now humans and Zarchii gathered together. In a stirring moment of unity, they unveiled a monument forged from a blend of native stone and advanced alloy, a towering obelisk inscribed with both human symbols and the intricate glyphs of the Zarchii. At its summit shone a radiant crystal, pulsing gently with the energy of the Varrock, a reminder of the creature that had been both a challenge and a catalyst for transformation. Captain Ortiz took the stage once more, her voice steady and proud as she addressed the assembled multitude. We stand today not as conquerors or invaders, but as partners in the great tapestry of the cosmos. Our journey, fraught with peril and wonder, has shown that when we dare to defy, to learn and to unite, we unlock the true potential of our spirits. This monument is not merely a tribute to what we have overcome, but a beacon for the future, a future where our combined light will guide us through the darkest of nights. A chorus of voices erupted in agreement, voices that span the ages and species, echoing the timeless refrain, "Humanity, fuck yeah." It was a battle cry that had evolved into a celebration of unity, resilience, and the boundless possibilities that arose when the old order was transformed by the fires of defiance. In that moment, as the obelisk's crystal cast shimmering reflections over the gathered throng, both humans and Zarchii looked upward to a star-studded sky filled with promise. The Covenant of the Eclipse had transcended its humble beginnings, a mere response to an act of sacrilege, and had become the foundation for a future built on mutual respect, shared discovery, and the unwavering belief that no cosmic force could ever break the bonds forged in the crucible of unity. Thus, on that fateful day on Zarthan, where ancient traditions were challenged and new legends were born, the final ascension was complete. The Alliance had not only repelled a tempest from beyond but had set in motion a transformation that would resonate throughout the galaxy for generations to come. In the melding of human innovation and Zarchii wisdom, a new chapter of cosmic history was written, a chapter defined by courage, collaboration, and the eternal, resounding truth that together, we can illuminate the darkest corners of the universe. And so, as the twin moons ascended into a serene sky and the monument glowed softly against the eternal night, the united peoples of Zarthan looked to the future with hope and determination. The legacy of the Varrock, once a symbol of nature's unyielding apex, had been reborn as the spark of a revolution that promised to carry the light of unity into every corner of the cosmos. This was the final ascension, the moment when tradition was not erased but transformed, when the echoes of ancient rites blended with the pulse of modern ambition, and when the indomitable spirit of humanity, fierce, relentless and ever-evolving, merged with the timeless wisdom of an alien world. In that brilliant convergence, the universe itself took notice, and a new era of exploration, understanding and shared destiny was born.